Our Lent reflection today is from Matthew 27, verses 45 to 49. Now, early on in this, we get Jesus's anguished words from the cross. My God, why have you forsaken me? Now, that sounds like the ultimate cry of defeat and despair. He's in terrible pain. He feels utterly alone, abandoned by all. But I think the greatest agony of all, he can't get through to his Father. Just imagine, all through his life, he's been really in close step with the Father. Even when he was a child of 12, he tells his parents who had lost him that he had to be in his Father's house. And then remember all those nights in the Gospel where he just went out at night and prayed rather than sleep. The Father and the Spirit guided his every action and his every word. And then well before that, he was there with the Father and the Spirit when the earth was formed. There's that amazingly close relationship, that unique relationship, that close communion. And then here, it's gone. It's shattered. Can you imagine how he felt at that point? Totally devastated. I think actually that this is a pivotal point in Jesus' mission, because it's what he came to do. And I think that this is the cup that he asked his Father to take away from him when he was praying in the Garden of Gethsemane. It wasn't the physical pain of the crucifixion, not the desertion of his friends, not the taunting and humiliation that the crowd subjected him to. But I think it was this, being cut off from the Father, that he was dreading. Like it says in one of our songs, the Father turned his face away. Jesus here is so identified with us, with fallen humanity, that he took the full weight of our sin and selfishness and rebellion and suffered the consequences. If you look at 2 Corinthians 5:21, it says, he became sin who knew no sin, that we might become the righteousness of God. So he experienced the punishment of being cut off from the Father that we deserved, and he didn't. You might know that this what Jesus said from the cross here is a quotation from Psalm 22, one of David's Psalms. I remember reading that psalm many years ago when I was at a very low point. My daughter was at death's door, and I just felt that I was very much on my own. Well, I was physically on my own, staying in the hospital with her. And I prayed everything I could possibly pray, and it felt like God wasn't answering even the simplest prayer. And then I read this psalm, and suddenly, this psalm actually starts off with those words, my God, why have you forsaken me? And I suddenly realised at that moment that Jesus knew what it was like. And that realisation just changed everything for me. Suddenly, I felt at peace. I knew he was there in it with me, and it would all be okay. And it was a while till we did see any improvement in my daughter's condition, but it happened and she's well. And so I'd like to encourage you, even if you're in a very dark place, if you feel alone and that you can't get through to God, Jesus has been there. He knows what it's like, and he can lift you up out of it as he was raised from the dead. Amen.